special something by 30-year-old Artur Dmitriev, the gold medalist in 1992. He's beer and butts for most of the year, 10 months. But challenged by his coach, he gave them up, lost 9 pounds, trimmed up, and won another gold medal with a different partner. And here the two will skate the long program that clinched their Nagano gold medal.
Away from all the technicalities of pair skating and show us what it's truly all about, and that is passion.
He's 30, which is dinosaur age in Olympic figure skating.
He is the most unlikely Olympic gold medalist. He doesn't look the part, he doesn't act the part. But what he has is the biggest heart.
Unique choreography and winning gold medals his specialty.
This program represents the flow of life. They call it a conversation about life. And only a slightly modified performance, only a few jumps changed, turned into singles instead of doubles. But what they have beyond any other pair team here is a connection with each other as a man and a woman on the ice, not just athletes.
He is 26 years old, and he knows his chance may have passed. He has a world championship and national titles, and for the past 3 years, Todd Eldredge has been on the brink. His one Olympic experience 6 years ago dissolved. Now, Nagano was supposed to be Todd's time, his last chance.
What I thought the Olympic experience, or what I was hoping the Olympic experience was going to be like, was totally different than what I'd hoped it would be.
So when have you gotten angry between then and now?
A few times in the last week.
Have you yelled?
No, not really.
Have you cried?
Yeah.
Have you pounded a pillow or done anything else?
No, none of that. Just, you know, it's a tough thing. You know, I mean, it's something that you know, I'm still kind of wondering whether or not to continue and to try another 4 years for the next one. And kind of leaving all my options open right now, and haven't really made any solid decisions. But you know, to know that this could possibly be the last chance I'll have at it, that's tough.
Did the Olympic gold medal mean more than the 5 national championships or the 1 world championship?
You know, for me, I guess maybe I did put a little bit too much of an importance on winning this one. Maybe I tried a little too hard. I think things just don't work quite right when you overwork things.
And so it hurts.
Sure. Since I was a kid, I mean, I've dreamed about standing up there and listening to the anthem as it goes up, and that's the way it is. It's not going to happen.
There was really some joy, it looked at least through the TV, in the friendship you had with Tara, and the two of you supporting each other, and the fun you had. Can you tell me probably the mixed pang of thrill for her and, again, sadness for yourself when she had her big night? Tell me about that relationship with Tara and her night.
I want to say the best thing and the hardest thing for me was to watch her get on the podium, get the medal, and watch the flag go up.
Opportunity for redemption. He's skating his long program to Gettysburg.
asked Todd how he felt about this performance in Japan, he said, "I'm happy as long as it's anywhere but Nagano."
Todd is considered to be one of the strongest competitors. And he is the reason why Kulik and Stoico are so tough. He's been pushing them.
This crowd is into this.
Todd Eldredge smiling through this moment of assessment when a figure skater goes over what has just been done. And he must be saying to himself, there's something about this place that doesn't allow me to be my best.
In many respects, though, I think this performance may have been as difficult as the one in Nagano, because I think that every time he went into a jump, he was reliving the mistakes he made in the long program.
Back at Yoyogi National Stadium, Al Troutwig along with Sandra Bezic, Beth Ruyak backstage, and on center stage is Philippe Candeloro.
They are going nuts for Philippe Candeloro here at Yoyogi.
He's a rock star here. He debuted this program here earlier this season. I have even seen some of the fans dress up in this costume, some of the female fans, beard and mustache and all.
He's working it.
You realize that we're sitting in the judges' spot, Al. So we may get a little action over here, too.
I look forward to it.
So do I. easy, too.
He's like a rock star, and this is his hit song. Well, he's got good taste, I'll say that.
Am I blushing?
Yes.
Within the confines of the rules, but watch this footwork sequence. It's required. You've got to do footwork, but watch this one.
A true sensation, Felipe Candeloro.
He's got me a little speechless. I'm trying to maintain my professional decorum here.
I think that went away a few moments ago. Your decorum. And to Felipe Candeloro, I say, what do you possibly follow this up with?
What is so terrific about Felipe is that he manages to choose a theme and then carry it to the fullest. And back it up with strong skating as well. It's not just play, and the play is wonderful. To be so loose and still compete is incredible, but he still did all the jumps and he's still able to perform.
They may need a bulldozer to get all the flowers and the stuffed animals and everything else that is being rained down upon Felipe Candeloro. Most of those flowers were sold in booths set up here at Yoyogi National Stadium, sold for $6 apiece. And he, in their eyes, is the $1 million man. From a groundbreaking performance at the Nagano Olympic Winter Games. And he steals the show, as many felt he did from Ilia Kulik during the games themselves at the medal ceremony when he received all the cheers and Kulik received his gold medal. And Kulik is a good sport. He's going to help speed things up. These skaters have come from Nagano with their trademarks of the Olympic Games. Candeloro as D'Artagnan and that yellow shirt of Ilia Kulik. Boy, did that receive a lot of attention. People made fun of it, but wearing it, all he did was go out and win the gold medal in spite of it. And now you can't get it off him.
10 years ago when Brian Boitano won the Olympics, he set a standard that since then all men have strived to reach. Kulik surpassed that, and now he's set the new standard, and it may take another 10 years to match his long program performance. The program is Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. He plays the role of a Russian, a young Russian in the 30s in the streets of New York. And the shirt is supposed to represent sunlight and happiness. What was a really great triple axel, the only one of the evening.
After the Olympics, referring to performing tonight, and he said, "No, I love the show."
Especially when you have the gold medal hanging around your neck. This section represents standing in the street and seeing his love for the first time.
Have skated to Rhapsody in Blue, but when it's done right, it looks fresh and new all over again.
Beautiful triple axel, and what sets this program apart is the musicality of where the jumps are placed. of the jumps.
Based on tonight, let's give him the gold medal again.
That performance proves why he is the gold medalist. He is the ultimate combination of talent, charisma, and work ethic.
We're seeing all the emotion that these skaters didn't get a chance to see put upon them in the Olympics at White Ring. For all the media that took up the seats and all the Olympic team members, there really were a small number, maybe even less than 1,000, who could call themselves die-hard figure skating fans who watched Ilia Kulik win the gold medal. So in effect, this is really his first big ovation. Another gold medalist and her silver teammate still to come.
You always have new goals and new things you want to set up for yourself so you can make yourself better. And you know, winning Olympics was the biggest dream I've ever had. So, I mean, I've gotten over that. But, I mean, it's not like I'm not going to have any more goals.
You know, I did everything possible. And I look back and I think, you know, it was a great time. I had fun in Nagano. And I skated well. Had a performance that I'll always remember. And I won the silver medal.
And the bronze of Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pizaruk. It was largely viewed that the Canadian pair of Bourne and Kratz skated more than well enough to medal, but they did not. And the sport is in an uproar.
When you put all the rules aside, this is one of the most beautiful free dances I've seen. It's to Prokofiev's Romeo and Juliet. all their bases. They were strong in each of the disciplines, whereas the Russians were strong in the free dance or in the compulsories, but not all round.
Of believable passion in what they do.
Just as a piece of choreography, I love this program. But for competition, what the other countries were taking issue with was the fact that they started for 30 seconds at the beginning of their program and did not skate. However, somehow they still managed to be original, and by doing a reverse lift where she carries him, I've never seen that before, and I really admired that inventiveness.
And that's one thing we've come to expect from skaters from France, that extra special bit of inventiveness. Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pizarov. Next up, Angelique Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov. It was felt by some that they should have won the gold medal, more of that ice dancing controversy. They're both Russian, but now train in Newark, Delaware.
After all that went on in dance in Nagano, is its future in the Olympics of the future in danger?
Yes, it is. I think that the cat is out of the bag now and they have to clean it up.
stole his heart. That's what that scarf is all about. Boy, they told the whole story in that performance. Krylova and Ovsyannikov of Russia.
Many of the dance authorities in Nagano, the coaches and other skaters, felt that Angelika and Oleg should have won the compulsory dances in the original dances. They were by far the best skaters. However, with this free dance and its intensity, I think they gave away the title in a way, politics aside, of course, because I mean, my interpretation of Carmen is one that is playful and seductive with a bit of madness, and I feel that they only caught the madness.
And Sandra, that's an appropriate word considering all that went on in ice dancing. Take, for example, the next duo to step onto the ice. 34 years later, the view from the diving platform looks a bit different. Pasha Gritschuk and Yevgeny Platov. Since the Nagano Games, she's discovered that she skated then and will skate now with a broken bone in her left wrist. And what a maelstrom of controversy there was about their gold medal. And Yevgeny Platov, they won a gold medal, but the controversy started after proper deductions weren't made when she stumbled in the early compulsories. Now it's a gold medal they must defend. Beth Ruyak asked them about that.
Do you know about the controversy? Do you know that people have been talking so much about the judging?
Yes. Can I say that first? It's make me feel really bad because, a lot of specialists and a lot of, people who really know ice dancing, they definitely know that, judgment was right. And, it's really put on us a lot of pressure and a lot of bad feelings because we are the winner. And we felt that people think that judgment was wrong. So,
what do you think? Did you get help from the judges?
No.
Yevgeny?
No, actually, after we skate free dance and all judges put us in the first place, this was, I think, right.
And now we will see that free dance that clinched the gold medal. This is not where the critics had a problem. The problems all started and focused on what happened in the compulsories. Gritschuk and Platov will now perform to Memorial Requiem, a very solemn piece written by Michael Nyman, originally designed for the memory of people who died in a soccer riot in Belgium in 1985.
Their performance at the Olympic Games was riveting. Wasn't as clean tonight, but they were, without question, the champions on the night. But I think she will be known more for her conduct off the ice than on. She has reinvented herself many, many times. Been controversial. She really knows how to feed the media frenzy.
Coming up, those who go solo, including China's Lu Chen. Her performance and her story, both equally compelling. Lu Chen of China has said that the Olympics in Nagano are her last competition, but her future, so much of that remains unclear.
To understand Lu Chen is to understand the burden she carries. Growing up thousands of miles from home, her coach as her surrogate mother, skating always with the expectations of her country. It's hard to believe that one girl could make a sport important. But in this country of 1 billion people, one girl did. A little girl who discovered the freedom of skating on an empty lot in her backyard.
At that time, we don't have indoor rink. It's outside. It's cold. It's freezing and snow. I saw a lot, my little friend, they go skating and they have fun. I don't have skates yet. So my dad, he borrowed some skates and then I wear them a little big. So I go there with my sister and we skate. I don't want to take off my skates. I want to skate more and more.
More and more gave China what they never had before, an Olympic medal and a world championship. Skating was Lulu's freedom. She went to America and discovered the joy of making her own choices. But her government said no and told her to come home.
Before the Olympics, our federation, they want me to stay in China and training. Because if I stay in America, they can't really, they can't really know what I'm doing.
So she went back to a place of control. And to people outside of China, it seemed that Lulu had disappeared. With the Olympics just 6 months away, she was given the one thing she asked for, a new coach. In 1997, Lulu's skating had faltered. She finished 25th at the World Championships. In the fall, she had to skate in Vienna to qualify for the Olympics. Her coach believed that she could.
He really took care of me. Before I go to Vienna qualify, I was so scared because, all thing in my head, I can't forget that moment last year it was, and I'm so scared to go to competition again. But I know I have to do this because I really want to go to this Olympics. But it's so hard. So we always talk together, and then he keep telling me, it's okay, you can do it, just trust yourself.
She gave this moment to her coach in gratitude for all that she had learned. And to China, she gave a second bronze medal, proof that she knew how to win. And since she is the foundation of China's figure skating future, why would they ever let her go?
They want me to start doing coach, to teaching, because they really want to have more, good skater. But I think I'm, too young to be coach. After 95 Worlds, I already tell them I want doing the Olympics, next Olympics, but after Olympics I will finish.
I won't be a butterfly. Skater, they're like butterfly. They have short life, but it's beautiful.
After this performance in Tokyo, Lu Chen plans to return home to China. A glorious medal-winning homecoming surrounded by her family. After that, she says she'd like to split time living in China and the United States. It's just not known whether the Chinese authorities will let her do that. From a parking lot to here, astounding.
A lot of symbolism here. The butterfly bursting forth.
It's called Butterfly Lovers. It's the story of star-crossed lovers who emerged from their graves as butterflies.
In their formative years, these skaters are almost owned by their federations in some of the nations of the world. And like Philippe Candeloro, Lu Chen hopes the medal that she has won here in Japan will give her some of the creative and economic freedom that all these skaters want. Well, Sandra Bezic, you choreographed it. What do you think of the way she has interpreted your vision?
When we set out to do this, we decided it was very important for her to do something Chinese. And we found the piece of music and she told me the story. And for me, the emerging butterflies represented her freedom. And her performance in the long program at the Olympics was the most emotional, the most gut-wrenching thing I have watched, because it had nothing to do with winning a medal. It had everything to do with working back, proving that she could skate, and buying, perhaps, her freedom.
And now we come to the amazing dilemmas that are present for some in figure skating. For as a bronze medalist, thrilled with her victory, exits, the silver medalist enters.
1998 Olympic silver medalist, American Michelle Kwanです。
No one was under more pressure than Michelle Kwan. But this short program will go down in history as one of the most exquisite.
It's the one that put Michelle in the lead.
Triple Lutz combination.
Reminded her that she might not need to practice so many jumps like that for the fractured toe which she has, and says did not play a role in how the Olympics turned out for her.
It wasn't just the toe, Al, that was cause for concern. It was the fact that 1 month ago the media had already coronated her as Olympic champion. She had 7 6.0s for this program alone and for this move. This is what sets Michelle apart.
'17-year-old Michelle Kwan, the silver medalist in Nagano.
I honestly can't imagine how she withstood the pressure. The pressure going into this event, expecting to be perfect. But she is the ultimate combination of athleticism and artistry.
These people here just can't do enough for Michelle Kwan. We'll see her one more time a little bit later, and after this performance in Tokyo, she'll be heading home to a schedule that will be loaded.
This is souvenir for you. Later and picture. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now.
I scarcely.
Now hold on, I'll put your guards on.
That's her coach, Frank Carroll.
Feet up.
And that is the cover girl of the 18th Olympic Winter Games, 15-year-old Tara Lipinski from Sugar Land, Texas. Now, everyone so far has shown us their competitive performances. We're going to see her exhibition.
1998 Olympic gold medalist, American Tara Lipinski さんです。
And when you've won the gold medal, you can pretty much do what you want.
Tall enough to see over the boards that surround the ring, the gold medalist, Tara Lipinski.
And boy, does she ever love the sound of that. She says she hasn't been able to stop smiling. She smiles when she goes to bed, she smiles when she sleeps, and she's still smiling when she wakes up in the morning.
And I can't believe that the fans here have any more flowers left, but they do, and plenty of them.
But I have never met anyone as strong, Al, and I've been around a lot of strong people. Even at her young age, she had a dream that she did not let go of for a second. She lived it and believed in it and worked for it. Always first one on, last one off the ice.
Now that she has that gold, things will happen for her, the likes of which she has never dreamed. And so we are back at Yoyogi National Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. Al Trautwig and Sandra Bezic, more of us and more of the great figure skaters that we've seen so far. And Sandra, what I saw was the reasons why they won the medals that they won in Nagano.
You're absolutely right. And what I was impressed with was that I expected them to be free tonight and perform with abandon, but I did not expect the high level of technical difficulty, and they're doing almost all of it.
One of the highlights was Felipe Candeloro, and clearly the crowd here is buying everything he's selling.
It's certainly my highlight.
Yes.
And I'm curious to see what he's going to do later this evening, because he's always full of surprises.
And that's the best thing about this. We've seen him once, now we see him twice. And in this second look, the spotlights will be on, not the competitive lighting that we saw earlier. This is Elena Bereznaya, Anton Sigurlidze. They have an extraordinary warmth between the two, and it really shines through in their performances. The music is John Tesh's Barcelona.
I love this sequence right here and the speed. Those little hops are tough. That their next Olympics will be a winning statement.
Bereznaya and Sigurlidze in an episode of Trust Thy Partner. Really had the crowd going.
And that's what it takes in pair skating, and these two have it all. They've got talent. They are physically gorgeous, so well matched. All they need is a little time, because these two can do anything.
And Elena Bereznaya and Anton Sigurlidze will have plenty of time, 4 years, to get ready for what will happen in Salt Lake City, Utah. Our second look at the gold medalists, Kazakova and Dmitriev. Remember his story. At the age of 30, for 10 months, he smokes cigarettes, drinks too much beer, and then gives it up, sheds the excess weight, and comes back and wins the second gold medal of his career.
Again, that's why they won the gold.
And what sets Oksana and Artur apart is that they use all the technical elements to tell a story. And everything they do is slightly different. And this is one of my favorite moves that I've seen them do. No one else does it. He throws her right from the air.
Kazakova and Dmitriev. Next up, it will be Ilia Kulik, the gold medalist, who will perform with a sword in his hand.
Well, we're going to have to get Candeloro and Ilia Kulik to have a duel at center ice. He's got a samurai sword, and they're already in love with it.
This one's called Mortal Kombat.
Soundtrack from the movie, which was actually a computer game, which he probably played, only being 20. So we have an Olympic gold medalist performing a computer-generated routine.
And the audience is going crazy, but he's not happy with that performance. He didn't land any of the jumps, and I think the pressure of having to skate the long program earlier took all the energy out of him.
There is, however, plenty of energy still left in the crowd. And now the man who was fourth, Todd Eldredge, who explained to us earlier just how extremely difficult it was to watch Tara Lipinski, his good buddy, on the podium as the flag raised to the roof at White Ring.
I've always marveled at that spin. Todd says all you do is just draw yourself inside, bring your arms together, and it just happens.
Just happens after about 20 years of work. Another scaled down performance for Todd. I think it's going to take more than a week or two for him to recover from his disappointing.
This is Marina Anasina in an outfit to remember with Gwendal Paisera of France.
Thank you.
Enosina and Paisara throwing a lot of gymnastics into their performance here.
Well, they are exotic and sensual, but Al, they're also great skaters, and they have a very bright future.
Once again, they were the bronze medalists.
And they have the potential to crack the Russian domination if the judging does get cleaned up.
Very warm applause for Marina Enosina and Gwendal Paisara of France. Now this is going to be Angelique Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov.
different, and on the ice in Tokyo like a hot night in Madrid, and with some real smooching thrown in.
The Russian Federation wanted Grishuk and Platov to win and retire so that this couple could take over. That kind of hierarchy frustrated these two.
Krylova and Ovsyannikov, and now the gold medalists, Grishuk and Platov. You saw how difficult and uncomfortable it was for them to talk about their gold medal and having to almost defend it, and how the judging turned out in their favor. In that routine, Pasha Gritschuk is the woman who had the last word. As we continue in this golden gala from Tokyo, Tara Lipinski, Michelle Kwan, and Lu Chen. Back in Tokyo, the medals in Nagano were awarded in age order. 15-year-old Tara Lipinski, 17-year-old Michelle Kwan, 21-year-old Lu Chen of China. And I'm sitting next to the woman who choreographed this routine, Sandra Bezic.
Short program. We chose this music because we wanted her aggressive and defiant, but still sensual.
Sandra, it seems to me that the two of you, when you got together, you always came up with a piece of music that reflected her life at that time. The butterflies, the this. Did you think that that was the best way you could draw her emotions out?
Yes, because when she came to me, she was a broken spirit. She hadn't skated in 4 months, and I wanted to see the fire in her belly again. And we chose pieces of music that weren't necessarily competitive, but more emotional.
Lu Chen, a vision in red. And what do you think she wants her immediate future to be?
You know, I wonder what she's thinking now. She is looking forward to a professional career and possibly moving to the West, moving to Los Angeles. But first she wants to go home and celebrate with her family.
She's found someone to celebrate with here.
What to say to a Todd Eldredge, what to say to a Michelle Kwan who was so focused on gold. People have tried, but she's pretty smart.
People told me just these past couple days that if they had 2 gold medals to give, that they would give it to me too. But, you know, there wasn't. And I know that. And it wouldn't be the same if they had 2 gold medals. It wouldn't mean as much to me.
Michelle Kwan once again with her coach, Frank Carroll.
What?
You look so happy.
I must reflect your mood.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I not so?
Not terribly. Let's see what you can do out here. Let's get into the emotion of this program.
She was a little girl when it all began 4 years ago. Figure skating was focused on Tanya and Nancy, while 13-year-old Michelle Kwan waited. She wanted the chance they had, and her family nurtured that innocent wish. Her family also taught her that she wasn't just skating for herself. She was skating for her country and for the Kwan family. Frank Carroll knew that he was training a child, but he also knew that she had the talent and the desire to be what she dreamed. And many others knew the next great American skater was being shaped. She became the world champion at 15, maturity in her face and her skating. Michelle had given the sport a soulful elegance. She had become America's anointed one. Then there was a time of injury and vulnerability. Maybe Michelle had been ready too soon. For the first time, there was doubt about her Olympic dream. But 15 perfect scores 1 month before the Olympics said it all. Michelle was perfect. It was a consensus. She would follow Peggy and Dorothy and Christy. She was declared the Olympic champion before she even skated in Nagano.
Right after my long program, I was really, for a minute I thought I was dreaming. You know, I had to close my eyes and say, okay, this is not a dream. I just couldn't believe that I went into the Olympics hoping to skate well and getting off the ice knowing that I did it. People said I didn't have the spirit while I was skating, I didn't have the spark, but inside I did. Maybe I didn't express it. But if I had to take it back, maybe I would have had that spark, skated a little better, and maybe that would have made a difference.
It was an innocent wish to be an Olympic champion, and all of America embraced it. But for Michelle Kwan, what made history was the reality of almost.
I think in my eyes it was a golden performance. I know that I did my best. And I always said if I did my best, I skated best, and I didn't win, I would be happy with it, which I am now. I mean, deep inside, I know I did it, you know, and it may not be the right color medal, but, you know, in my heart, that's all I can hope for.
Kwan has the World Championships right around the corner. Says she'll be part of the scene in Salt Lake in 2002. Wouldn't it be something if Tara Lipinski was back as well and they renewed their duel? It's Tara's turn to skate in a moment.
The youngest gold medal skater, what does that mean to you?
Well, it feels great. I mean, last year when I was the youngest to win Worlds, it was, so great for me. And then this year to win Olympics was even better. And, you dream of it your whole life. You always want to win a Worlds or a Nationals, but Olympics is you always dreamt of that, more than anything. And so when I won, it's really amazing.
In terms of skating history, were there other skaters that you watched, other women that you remember thinking about?
I remember vividly Oksana last year, and when she won, or 4 years ago rather, and how excited she was. And I remember they have like a little video on demand at the rink, and I watched her program and her sitting in the Kiss and Cry just crying, and it was so cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so perfect if that was me. And that night, it was my moment, and it was so cool.
Tara, what do you do with fear?
Well, before you go out on the ice, waiting for your name to be called, that's when you get it, and you try not to think about it, and it's hard. Before I went out there, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. But once the music started, everything just came into place, and the music, you got into your music and you just started, and you thought, you can make this like the best moments of your life where you could just be okay, and I really wanted to make it good.
Did you think about the gold medal? Did you think about the silver?
Definitely. I mean, you always think about that. You always think, what happens next time I see this hotel? I could be Olympic champion, and you think about things like that, and I think it gets you pumped to go out there and skate well, but you have to not think about it too much that you want it so badly you go out there and you mess up.
Do you want a movie? Do you want lots of commercials?
That's so hard. I mean, whatever comes, and we'll see how it goes with the schedule and everything, but see, those are the little things that are exciting that you get extra too. But I mean, for me, I think the best part of winning was that feeling you get inside, like, I can't believe I've done this, and how happy I'll be every night when they announce the Olympic champion.
And then people do put the dollar figures that are 10s, 20s, 50 million. How do you think about that?
Well, you try not to, because when you're skating, it's not about the money. It's about, loving to skate and doing shows and competing and not even thinking about the money. And I let my parents and everyone else handle that.
And do you remember that dream, that feeling of the moment when you were a little girl compared to the real thing?
Well, the real thing is so much better. You can dream and dream, and it's nothing like when you're actually up there and you know it's for real.
Olympic gold medalist, American Lipinski.
For what she has done, Tara Lipinski is now in the company of Sonia Henney, Peggy Fleming, Dorothy Hamill, and Christy Yamaguchi. In this sport, there isn't company that's better or bigger than that. Candelora's Saturday Night Fever when we come back. Once again, for our matinee hero, our cult idol, Philippe Candeloro of France, the bronze medalist, once D'Artagnan, now he's someone new. Earlier, he planted a kiss on my partner here, Sandra Bezic, as D'Artagnan, and the crowd's thinking Saturday Night Fever, maybe.
They don't know. That's really what's coming.
You gotta love the suit.
Keep their clothes on here tonight. What's the deal?
Oh no.
Sandra?
Oh, thank goodness.
I do not think he's going to have any problem finding work now that his time in Japan is over. it's a perfect way for this night to end. Big cheers from the crowd. They've had many moments. A little nutty, a little on the edge, but still loaded with a lot of skill.
And their favorite moment. Philippe. He's not ready to leave yet.
And I said before, if you were to say one thing to Philippe Candeloro, you'd say, what do you do after you do D'Artagnan? Will you do Travolta? With a little Scott Hamilton.
Their Olympic experience is officially over. And we hope you've gotten a sense of what these athletes have meant to the people of Japan here. You might say this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, and that these skaters will always have Nagano.